Yo, what's up, Capricorn? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of September 2018. Capricorn, your central energy this month is the Queen of Cups in reverse. So I'm not saying that all Capricorns have an important water sign in their life, but some of you do. So for those Capricorns who do, and if you're not familiar with tarot, then you probably don't know that it doesn't matter about the gender on the card. It's all about the suit. So just because it's a Queen of Cups doesn't mean that it can't. It's the Queen of Cups could be a man or a woman. It doesn't matter that it's a queen. It just has to do with the suit, and it's the suit of water. So this is somebody in your life who is either a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. So whoever this person is going to be a central focus of your life in the month of September 2018. Now, if you can't think of anybody who's an important Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, then potentially these characteristics of the Queen of Cups in reverse are resonating with you. So maybe I'd say that, if the Queen of Cups, if that was in the upright position, then that would suggest that you are being calm, you are being compassionate. But, obviously if the card is in the reverse, then the characteristics that are adverse to what I just said would apply. So maybe some of you aren't really being compassionate enough for someone's situation, maybe. Maybe some of you aren't being calm. And, if it's not you, then maybe it's somebody else in your life who's exuding these characteristics. Now, you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is your challenge card for the month of, of September 2018. And Pentacles energy is earth energy, and that's what you are. You're an earth sign. You're Capricorn, so that is Pentacles, and Earth. Pentacles are Earth energy. That's you. But, with the Ace of Pentacles in the challenge position, I'd say that this is maybe some challenge regarding either it has to do with maybe some kind of new financial opportunity potentially for some of you. For others of you, this might have to do with a missed opportunity of some sort. So I'm not saying that all of you are going to miss an opportunity in the month of September 2018. But, any new money opportunities that are trying to work their way into your life, Capricorn, I mean, if this Ace of Pentacles is in the challenge position, so if you really want to get something off the ground when it comes to your money, then, you might have a bit of a challenge doing this in the month of September 2018. For some of you, it could be indicative of challenges regarding the area of where you earn your income. Some of you are having challenges in that area of your life. Now, crowning your reading is the Five of Pentacles in the upright position. And that one is a card that's very much about, if you look at the card, I mean, they're out in the cold. So, I mean, if you look at the building with the beautiful lights inside, it's like, whoever's inside the building is, warm and, having a good time. And you're just feeling like I'm not saying all of you are, but, some of you kind of feel a little bit, left out in the cold when it comes to a certain situation in your life in the month of September 2018. Some of you feel like you're a little bit on the outside. It's like, everyone's having a good time and they're enjoying themselves, but for some reason you just feel like you're on the outside. So, I'm not saying that that's the case for all of you, but some of you might feel, just uninvolved. You feel like there's people, there's maybe a group and you're just not really with that group. Or, just like I said, it's one of potentially for some of you, I'm not saying all of you might have some insecurity about something, but, possibly some of you do. Now, in the distant past position, you have the King of Cups. And so it seems that for some of you, there's an important water sign in your life. Because you have the Queen of Cups, you have the King of Cups, and once again, it doesn't matter, king, queen, whoever, it could be a man, either one could be a man or a woman. It just matters about the suit. So the suit is water. So you have Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And this is King of Cups is in your distant past position, which suggests that maybe this water sign person was an important part of your past potentially for some of you Capricorn. But what's interesting about the past cards are that potentially sometimes, they could come in the, like, resonating in the month of September 2018. So, like, you have the Queen of Cups as your central energy. There's a water sign. Maybe the King of Cups is coming back in the month of September 2018. In your recent past, you have the Four of Cups. And, for some of you, that's really about the need to reevaluate a situation. So, maybe with this recent past card, it's like, maybe some of you had to reevaluate something. But, who knows if that's going to be who knows if that's going to be the actual case for you, Capricorn, in the month of September 2018. Like I said, sometimes these past cards can be indicative of what occurred, but other times this energy could be coming back in the month of September 2018. So if you find yourself having to reevaluate something, then in the month of September 2018, then here's the indication of it right here. Now, if you look at this card, you can see that there's some choices here. You have this, what's on offer to you, and some of you are just like, you're kind of like shrugging at this, what could be a good option for you. So some of you really do have a good option, but you're kind of shrugging your shoulders at it. But why? So try to think about that, Capricorn. Where in your life is there's some good option? It could have to do with any aspect of your life. It could have to do, if you're single, maybe it has to do with love. If you're already coupled up, maybe this is more about profession. But somewhere in your life, Capricorn, there's something on offer to you right here, and you're just kind of you're just shrugging your shoulders at it. So, maybe that's where the reevaluation needs to come in, Capricorn. Now, in your near future, some of you have a reunion coming up. And, that could be with anybody. So, people you haven't seen in a while, maybe. Now, all of a sudden, some folks who you haven't seen in a while, you're going to get together. Or maybe these are people who you don't see very often. Now, all of a sudden, September 2018, some of you might be getting back together with, people who you used to see, or, if maybe you do still see these people, but, potentially you don't see them that frequently. But this is some kind of reunion, or, if that's not the case, then, maybe some of you are just having some childhood memories. If you look at this picture right here on the card, you can see the children are, they're just enjoying those memories that they had. Or this is just, maybe indicative of times when you were a child. So, you might be thinking about your past a little bit throughout the month of September 2018. Now, you have the Eight of Pentacles in the upright position, and that's a great card to have in the upright. And, this just goes right along with who you are, Capricorn. You are somebody who you do a great job. You guys, Capricorn is the sign that rules career and profession. So, here you are working away. You do quality work, Capricorn. So, whatever you do professionally, you do a great job. You're skilled, and you just put a lot of effort, and you're very conscientious when it comes to what you do. So that's a great card to have. So, even though maybe there are some money challenges, just remember you have the skills and the know-how and the ability to really make things happen. Now, some of you are just going to be working in the month of September 2018, and it's like too much work. Like, it's like ridiculous. Look at all this work this guy has. So you have the 10 of Wands in the upright. Look at all this. This person can't do all that themselves. It's just unrealistic. So, maybe it's not you that is the problem with it. Some of you might have a boss or authority figure that just has a disregard for, I'll just overload my employees and who cares? That's not right. So, hopefully whoever your boss is, or, it's interesting because a lot of you are in positions of authority. So, if you are a Capricorn that's in a position of authority, don't disregard humanity, Capricorn. I mean, you have to be humane. You have to know what is a reasonable amount of work to give to somebody. You can't run people over capacity. It's just not a successful strategy for long-term success. So it's either you who's given too much work or you're getting too much work, and it's just not sustainable. So hopefully somebody can make a decision to fix that, to make things more reasonable. Now you have the Three of Swords in the reverse and the Two of Wands in the upright, and these are cards that are coming out on the board in an area that has to do with your hopes and fears. So, you know, if you look at this from a fear perspective, it's like, remember, fear is just fear, but some of you have a little bit of a fear of a three-way love situation, and this is going to resonate completely different for each of you. So, you know, for some of you, it's like maybe you're with somebody who is, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're with, like, on the side with somebody else, but they may have some thoughts potentially. So 1, 2, 3, your significant other, and somebody else potentially maybe that they like. If you, maybe it's the other way around. For some of you, you have some fear about this. Some of you, I'm not saying all of you do. Some of you have a love life that's perfectly fine and you trust your partner and there's no issue. But for those of you who do have some fear about this, here's the card right here that's showing the fear of a three-way situation. Some of you are fearful of getting involved with somebody else. Like potentially you're the one who maybe is having thoughts about somebody else and they are about you, but then you also have your significant other. So, you know, it could go either way. Now, if you're single, then maybe it's you, option. So, you know, potentially if you're single, you have a couple options, and, you know, that's not really something that you should be fearful about. So you're just going to have to figure out which the best option for you is if you're single. You know, maybe if you are a single Capricorn, you know, maybe a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio might be a good option for you. Getting the situation off the ground with them may be a bit of a challenge because the Queen of Cups in the reverse. If it was in the upright, I'd say you'd be smooth sailing. But I'd say if you're single, maybe a water sign is a good option for some of you Capricorn. Now, it's interesting because you have the Two of Wands in an area that has to do with hopes and fears. So, you know, the Two of Wands is one, two. You're trying to make a decision. So, you know, some of you have, like, you hope you can make a decision, but, you know, will you really be able to? Because right above that, as one of your outcome cards, you have the Two of Swords, which is in the reverse. So it's like, you know, Two of Swords in the reverse is you're indecisive. And, you know, it's just interesting how these cards are just one right above the other, because, you know, Two of Wands, when it's in the fear section, you just have fear of being able to make a decision. You're like, oh, I want to make the right decision. You know, maybe you just need to have a little bit more faith, Capricorn, because, you know, whatever decision you make is ultimately the decision that you were meant to make. And that's just the way life works, Capricorn. So, you know, don't get stuck with this indecisive Two of Swords energy in the reverse. Some of you just have this Two of Swords energy in the reverse, and it's just, you know, you're going to have to make a decision eventually, Capricorn. Maybe it won't happen in the month of September 2018 because it's your outcome. You know, I'd say if the Two of Swords was in the upright, maybe it would be a different story, but, you know, Two of Swords in the reverse suggests that you're definitely indecisive about something. And you also have the King of Wands as your outcome card. And, you know, it's interesting because making a decision, and then you have three-way situation. So I feel like that's more about, like, those of you who are single, you know, maybe you're trying to make a choice. If you're single, maybe you do see a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio as a good option, or you also see a fire sign as a good option too. So fire signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and, you know, maybe that's where the indecisiveness comes in for those of you who are single. You're like, oh, should I go with the fire sign? Should I go with the Aries Leo, Sagittarius, or should I go with the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio? And yeah, it could be any sign, but I mean, these are specifically for situations that are, for those of you Capricorns who are, you do see this water sign in your life. You do see this fire sign in your life. Now, if this isn't somebody in your, it doesn't even have to do with romance. I mean, it could be any important fire sign in your life. There's somebody important for some of you Capricorns in your life who is a Sagittarius, Leo, or potentially an Aries for some of you. And if you think about it and you're like, oh, well, there's not really anybody in my life who's Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Well, if that's the case, then you might just be exuding the quality of the King of Wands. And, that would make sense because, the King of Wands is all about leadership. And, you are one of the 4 cardinal signs on the zodiac, Capricorn. So, there's 4 leadership signs on the zodiac. It's you, Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, and Libra. Those are the cardinal points of the zodiac. So those cardinal points are all about leadership. So, the King of Wands is one of the characteristics of King of Wands is, innate leadership ability. And Capricorn, you do have that. You are an innate leader. You do have the vision. You do have the entrepreneurial skills. So use those to your advantage because that's a great card to have as your outcome for the month of September 2018. You just got to get by the indecisiveness. Make a decision. And you do have your ruler, Saturn, going direct on September 6th. So, Saturn is very gradual Saturn's in your sign. And Saturn's your ruler, and it's interesting because, when Saturn's in your sign, it's like a mixed bag. It's like some of you feel totally empowered when Saturn's in your sign, but others of you feel a little bit restricted. Saturn is a planet that's very much about restriction too, but Saturn is all about gradual development, and it's going to be in your sign until December 2020. So there's Saturn's about restructure, so potentially for some of you, there's a gradual restructuring of self that's happening. This is a process that's going to continue until December 2020. Now, on September 9th, you have a new moon in an area of spirituality. So, once again, some of you, Capricorns, you're sort of a mixed bag with spirituality. It's like some of you are very highly spiritual people, and others of you have just a lack of spirituality. And I feel that if you are the latter, like if you're not really that spiritual, then somebody or something in your life is going to sort of inspire you to just have more of an interest in a higher power. And that could resonate differently for all of you. So on September 9th, it's like, that's the way new moon works. It's going to hit on September 9th. In the 6 months that follow September 9th, all of a sudden, you're becoming more spiritually developed, some of you. And it's going to be different for each of you. It's like maybe some of you, when it comes to spirituality, maybe some of you're a little bit into something that's a bit more mystic. Like maybe you're going to come across somebody who maybe, who knows, they read tarot cards, or, they're a little bit psychic, or, maybe astral divination. They like to look at planets, whatever. Maybe some of you are going to be a little bit more into that. Others of you, not so much. And if you are what I'm talking about right now, chances are you might not be watching this video, or maybe you are, but, it could resonate as a traditional religion for some of you. So, some Capricorns, whatever your traditional faith is, potentially, being more inspired by that in the 6 months that follow September 9th. And now this new moon that's happening on September 9th also has to do with faraway places. It has to do with cultural enrichment. So I'm not saying that all Capricorns are going to be going somewhere far away in the 6 months that follow, sometime during the 6 months that follow September 9th. But if you have the opportunity to do so, then it should be a very enriching experience for you. And on September 24th, you have a full moon in your sector of home life and family. For some of you, it's going to resonate as a family situation. For others of you, it's going to resonate as a home life situation. For a few of you, it's going to be both. But I feel that some of you Capricorns have You have maybe some kind of conflict going on maybe in your family, like people in your family aren't getting along or something. So you might see that, come to a head. There might be some kind of development maybe or something regarding the people in your family. Who knows, maybe there's going to be a shift of some sort. I'd say that if you are, looking to move location or, maybe make some changes in your household, then following this full moon that's going to happen on September 24th is a great time to do that. But I think that's all for this month, Capricorn. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram as Gregory Furlan Astrology, so if you like to read daily astrology, definitely give me a follow there. Thank you very much. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.